Have you ever watched an English movie and understood almost everything? But the moment someone asked you a simple question in English, your mind suddenly became completely blank? You knew the words, you understood the sentence, but somehow, you just couldn't speak. If that has ever happened to you, then today's episode might completely change the way you think about learning English. And here's the surprising part. The problem may not be your English at all.
Welcome to the Listening English podcast. I'm Jack, and today we are exploring one of the biggest mysteries for English learners around the world: why you understand English but can't speak. If you've ever thought, I can understand English, but when it's my turn to talk, nothing comes out, you're definitely not alone. In fact, millions of learners experience the exact same frustration. The good news, there is a reason for it. And once you understand that reason, speaking English becomes much.
I'm so happy we are talking about this because this describes me perfectly. I can watch YouTube videos, understand podcasts, even follow conversations most of the time. But if someone suddenly asks me, "How was your day?" I start searching for words like I'm looking for lost keys in a huge house. It's so frustrating. Sometimes I even know the answer in English, but I just can't say it quickly enough.
That's one of the most common experiences among English learners, Rose. And here's something that surprises many people. Understanding English and speaking English are actually two different skills. They work together, but they are trained differently. Imagine someone who watches hundreds of cooking videos every week. They know every ingredient, every recipe, and every cooking technique. But if they have never cooked a real meal themselves, would they suddenly become a great chef?
Probably not. They would know about cooking, but actually cooking would feel completely different.
Exactly, and that's the same thing happening with English. Your brain has learned to recognize English, but it hasn't had enough practice producing it. Think of it like being an audience member at a concert versus performing on the stage. Watching feels comfortable, performing feels completely different.
That actually makes me feel much better. I always thought there was something wrong with me. Sometimes I even compare myself with people who seem to speak so naturally, and I wonder, why can't I do that?
That's another trap we will uncover today. In fact, one of the biggest reasons people struggle to speak has nothing to do with vocabulary or grammar. It's something happening quietly inside the brain, and most learners never realize it. Once you understand this hidden reason, you'll never look at English practice the same way again.
Wait, there's actually a hidden reason? Now I'm really curious.
There is, and it explains why even intelligent learners who study English for years can still freeze during a simple conversation. We will reveal that in just a moment, along with a few surprising stories that completely changed the way people learn to speak confidently.
Okay, Jack, you've already explained that understanding and speaking are two different skills. And honestly, that made me feel much better. But I'm still wondering something. If I've been listening to English for years, why doesn't speaking happen naturally? Shouldn't my brain eventually start talking on its own?
That's a fantastic question, Rose, and it's exactly what many English learners think. The answer is simple but surprising. Listening fills your brain with English, but speaking teaches your brain how to use English. Imagine you have a huge library filled with thousands of books. Owning the books doesn't automatically make you a great writer. In the same way, hearing thousands of English sentences doesn't automatically make you a confident speaker. Your brain needs practice pulling those sentences.
That makes so much sense. Sometimes I know the exact word I need, but when I open my mouth, it feels like the word is hiding somewhere in my brain. Then, 5 minutes later, I suddenly remember it and think, why couldn't I say that earlier?
That's called delayed retrieval, and almost every language learner experiences it. Your brain already knows the word, but it hasn't built a fast pathway to access it under pressure. It's like searching for a file on your computer. If every file is neatly organized, you find it in seconds. But if everything is scattered across hundreds of folders, it takes much longer. The words aren't missing. They are simply difficult to reach quickly. The more you speak, the stronger those mental pathways be.
So maybe I don't need to learn another 5,000 vocabulary words. Maybe I just need to become faster at using the words I already know.
Exactly. That's one of the biggest myths in language learning. Many people believe I'll start speaking once I know enough vocabulary. But the truth is that many learners already know far more words than they actually use. Imagine someone owns an expensive gym membership and watches fitness videos every day, but never exercises. They understand fitness. They just haven't trained their muscles. Speaking English is the same. Your speaking muscles only grow when you actually use them.
I think another problem is that I always try to make perfect sentences. Before I say anything, I'm checking the grammar in my head, choosing the right tense, wondering if my pronunciation is correct, and by the time I'm ready, the conversation is over.
That's one of the biggest confidence killers. Your brain simply can't focus on 10 different things at once during a conversation. Imagine you're learning to drive for the first time. At the beginning, you're thinking about the steering wheel, the mirrors, the pedals, the traffic signs, and the speed. Everything feels difficult, but after months of driving, those actions become automatic. Speaking English works exactly the same way. Fluency doesn't come from thinking faster, it comes from need.
That's interesting, because when I speak my native language, I never think about grammar. The sentences just come out naturally.
Exactly. You don't build every sentence from grammar rules. Your brain recognizes familiar patterns and produces them automatically. That's why listening is still incredibly important. Every podcast, every conversation, every movie, and every story is quietly teaching your brain new sentence patterns. But here's the important part. Those patterns stay passive until you actively use them. Listening plants the seeds. Speaking helps them grow.
So if I hear the sentence, "I can't wait to see you," many times, I shouldn't just recognize it. I should start using that pattern in different situations, like "I can't wait to travel," or "I can't wait to finish this project."
Exactly. That's how fluency develops. You're no longer memorizing isolated words. You're collecting ready-made sentence patterns that your brain can reuse naturally. In fact, many fluent speakers don't build sentences word by word. They speak in chunks. Instead of thinking, "I am looking forward to meeting you," the whole expression, "I'm looking forward to," comes out as one unit. That's much faster and much more natural.
I've heard people say that children learn languages much faster than adults. Does that mean adults are at a disadvantage?
Not necessarily. Children and adults learn differently. Children aren't afraid of making mistakes. They happily say incorrect sentences thousands of times, and nobody laughs because everyone expects them to be learning. Adults are different. We worry about sounding intelligent. We worry about grammar. We worry about pronunciation. Ironically, that fear slows down learning. A child might make 100 mistakes in a day and learn from every single one. An adult might avoid speaking altogether.
That really hits home. There have been so many moments when I wanted to speak English, but stayed silent because I was afraid people would judge me.
And here's the surprising truth. Most people aren't judging you nearly as much as you think. In fact, many native speakers appreciate anyone who's making the effort to learn their language. They don't expect perfection, they expect communication. Imagine a tourist visits your country and speaks your language with mistakes. Would you laugh at them or would you appreciate their effort? Most people choose kindness, and English conversations are usually no different.
That's a really comforting way to think about it. Maybe I've been creating pressure that doesn't actually exist.
Exactly, and here's one more idea that can completely change the way you practice. Stop asking yourself, "How can I speak perfectly?" Instead, ask, "How can I keep the conversation going?" Communication is much more important than perfection. If you forget one word, explain it another way. If you make a grammar mistake, keep talking. Fluency grows during conversations, not before them. And in the next part of our discussion, we are going to uncover something even more fascinating. We will explore...
Jack, can I ask you something? Sometimes I understand almost every word in a podcast. I even understand English movies without subtitles. But if someone suddenly asks me a question in English, my mind goes completely blank. Why does that happen?
That's one of the biggest struggles English learners face, Rose. And the answer is surprisingly simple. Understanding English is a passive skill. Speaking English is an active skill. They work together, but they don't develop at the same speed.
So just because I'm good at listening doesn't automatically mean I'll become good at speaking?
Exactly. Let me give you an example. Imagine you've watched hundreds of cooking videos on YouTube. You know every recipe, every ingredient, and every cooking trick. But if you've never stepped into a kitchen, would you suddenly become a great chef?
Definitely not. I'd probably burn the food.
Exactly. Watching taught you what to do. Cooking teaches you how to do it. English works the same way. Listening teaches recognition. Speaking teaches production.
That actually makes me feel better. I always thought something was wrong with me.
Not at all. In fact, millions of learners experience exactly what you're describing. They think they are bad at English, but they are actually missing one specific type of practice.
What kind of practice?
Retrieval practice. Your brain already knows many English words. The problem is accessing them quickly during a conversation.
Retrieval practice? I've never heard that term before.
Imagine your vocabulary is stored inside a huge library. Every word is there, but when someone asks you a question, you have only 2 seconds to find the right book. If the library isn't organized, you'll struggle, even though the book is there.
That's exactly how my brain feels sometimes.
And here's the good news. Every time you speak English, you're organizing that library. The more often you retrieve words, the faster your brain finds them the next time.
So speaking isn't just using English. It's actually training my brain.
Exactly. Think of it like exercising a muscle. Reading about push-ups doesn't make your arms stronger. Doing push-ups does.
I think another problem is that I translate everything in my head.
That's very common. Someone asks you a question in English. First, your brain translates it into your native language. Then you think of an answer. Finally, you translate that answer back into English.
Yes, that's exactly what happens.
And while you're translating, the conversation keeps moving. That's why you feel left behind.
So how do fluent speakers avoid that?
They connect English directly with ideas instead of translations. For example, when I say the word coffee, I don't translate it. I immediately imagine the smell, the taste, or a cup of coffee.
So English becomes a picture instead of another language.
Exactly, that's one of the biggest turning points in becoming fluent.
I've noticed children seem to learn languages much faster than adults. Why is that?
Children aren't afraid of making mistakes. They speak first and improve later. Adults often do the opposite. They want every sentence to be perfect before they speak.
That's me. Before I say anything, I'm checking grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, everything.
And by the time you've checked everything, the moment has passed. Remember this: conversations reward communication, not perfection.
That's a powerful sentence.
Let me tell you a quick story. A university student spent 6 years learning English. His exam scores were excellent. One day, a tourist asked him, "Can you help me find the train station?" He understood every word, but he froze. 10 seconds later, he finally answered. The problem wasn't knowledge. The problem was speed.
I've experienced moments just like that.
Most learners have, and here's something surprising. Research shows that your brain becomes faster not by learning thousands of new words, but by repeatedly using the words you already know.
So instead of learning 50 new words today, it might be better to use 10 words in 50 different sentences.
Exactly. That's how speaking becomes automatic. You're building strong pathways inside your brain.
What about talking to yourself? Some people say it's a great way to practice.
It absolutely is. Talking to yourself removes the fear of being judged. You can describe your room, explain your plans, tell stories, or even pretend you're being interviewed.
That actually sounds fun.
It is, and the best part is that your brain doesn't care whether the conversation is real or imagined. It still practices producing English.
That's amazing. But I still feel nervous when speaking with real people.
That's completely normal, and that nervous feeling has a fascinating psychological explanation. In the next part, we will explore why your brain freezes during conversations, how fear secretly blocks your English, and a few mental tricks that can make speaking feel much easier than you ever imagined.
Jack, you said something interesting a moment ago. You said fear can actually block our English. That sounds strange. How can an emotion stop me from speaking a language I already understand?
Great question, Rose. Imagine you're walking alone in your room. Easy, right? Now imagine someone suddenly puts you on a stage in front of 5,000 people and asks you to walk. You already know how to walk, but your body suddenly feels different. Your heart beats faster, your hands become sweaty. The skill didn't disappear. Pressure changed your performance.
So that's what happens when I try to speak English?
Exactly. Many learners don't have an English problem, they have a pressure problem. The moment someone starts listening, the brain switches from communication mode to evaluation mode. Instead of thinking, what do I want to say? It starts thinking, what if I make a mistake?
That voice in my head never stops. It's always saying, don't embarrass yourself.
And that's called the inner critic. Everyone has one. The difference is that confident speakers don't let it control the conversation. They accept that mistakes are part of learning.
I think social media makes it worse. We constantly watch people speaking perfect English.
That's a great observation. But remember, you're often seeing the final version, not the practice behind it. A YouTuber may record the same sentence 5 or 10 times before uploading the video. You're comparing your first attempt to someone else's polished result.
I never thought about it that way.
Let me tell you a story. When Thomas Edison was creating the light bulb, people asked him about his many failed attempts. He famously explained that he hadn't failed thousands of times, he had simply discovered thousands of ways that didn't work. Language learning follows the same principle. Every mistake teaches your brain something valuable.
So every awkward conversation is actually part of becoming fluent.
Exactly. Now here's another hidden truth. Many learners believe fluent speakers know every English word. That's simply not true.
Really?
Absolutely. Even native speakers forget words. Have you ever forgotten someone's name even though you've known them for years?
All the time.
Your vocabulary works the same way. Fluency isn't knowing every word, it's knowing how to keep communicating when a word disappears. Instead of stopping, fluent speakers explain the idea another way.
So if I forget the word umbrella, I could say the thing you use when it rains.
Perfect. That's called circumlocution, and it's a powerful communication skill. Ironically, many advanced speakers use it naturally without realizing it.
That actually removes a lot of pressure.
Here's another surprising fact. Your brain remembers information much better when it's connected to emotions or stories than when it's connected to lists.
Is that why I remember movie dialogues more easily than vocabulary lists?
Exactly, stories give words meaning. That's why children learn language through conversations, bedtime stories, and daily life instead of memorizing dictionaries. Every story creates emotional hooks that help the brain remember.
So maybe I should spend less time memorizing random words and more time listening to interesting conversations.
That's a smart strategy. And here's one more insight that surprises many learners. Your pronunciation often improves simply by listening carefully before trying to speak. Think about music. Before you can sing a song well, you need to hear its rhythm many times. English has its own rhythm too.
So listening isn't just helping me understand, it's quietly training my mouth as well.
Exactly, your ears become your best pronunciation teacher.
This episode has already changed how I think about learning English.
And we are not finished yet. In the next part, we will turn all these ideas into simple daily habits. You don't need expensive courses or 8 hours of study every day. Just a few practical techniques can make a remarkable difference if you use them consistently.
Jack, we have talked about the problems, the psychology, and the hidden reasons. Now, I'm sure everyone listening is wondering the same thing I am. What should we actually do every day to become better speakers?
I'm glad you asked, Rose. The good news is that you don't need to study 10 hours a day. You just need a smarter routine. Let me share 5 practical habits that anyone can start today.
I'm ready. What's the first one?
Habit number 1 is listen with a purpose. Don't just play English in the background. Choose a short audio, maybe 1 or 2 minutes long. Listen carefully, notice how the speaker connects words, and pay attention to common sentence patterns instead of individual vocabulary words.
So instead of asking, what new words did I learn? I should ask, what useful sentence patterns did I hear?
Exactly. Those patterns will become the building blocks of your own conversations.
What's the second habit?
Speak every single day, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Describe your room, explain your plans, talk about your favorite movie, or tell yourself what you're cooking. Remember, your goal isn't perfection. Your goal is production. Every sentence you speak makes your brain faster.
I like that because I don't need a speaking partner. I can start today.
Absolutely. Habit number 3 is one of my favorites. Use the shadowing technique. Listen to one sentence and immediately repeat it. Don't worry if you can't match the speaker perfectly. Focus on copying the rhythm, pronunciation, and natural flow of the sentence.
That sounds like learning a song by singing along with the singer.
Exactly. And just like music, repetition makes everything feel more natural.
Okay, what's number 4?
Stop memorizing isolated words. Learn words inside complete sentences. For example, don't just memorize the word decision, learn the sentence. I need to make a decision. The next time you need that phrase, your brain can retrieve the whole chunk instead of building the sentence word by word.
That feels much more practical than reading endless vocabulary lists.
It really is. Your brain loves patterns more than random information.
And the final habit?
Celebrate progress, not perfection. At the end of each day, ask yourself one simple question. Did I speak more English today than yesterday? If the answer is yes, you're moving forward. Fluency isn't built in one giant leap. It's built through hundreds of small conversations with yourself and with others.
I love that. It takes away the pressure of trying to become fluent overnight.
Exactly. Think about climbing a mountain. You don't reach the top with one huge jump. You reach it one step at a time. Learning English works the same way. Small, consistent actions always beat occasional bursts of motivation.
So let's quickly recap. Listen actively. Speak every day. Practice shadowing. Learn sentence patterns instead of single words. And focus on daily progress instead of perfection.
That's a fantastic summary, Rose. If our listeners follow those 5 habits consistently, they will notice something amazing. One day, they will answer a question in English without translating first. They will finish a conversation and suddenly realize, wait, I just spoke English naturally. That moment doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of small habits repeated over time.
And I think that's a really encouraging message. You don't have to be fearless to speak English. You just have to be willing to practice. Make mistakes and keep going.
Exactly. Because every conversation, every mistake, and every sentence you speak is another step toward becoming the confident English speaker you want to be. And in the final part of today's episode, we will leave you with one powerful thought that might completely change the way you see your English learning journey forever.
Jack, today's conversation has completely changed the way I think about learning English. I used to believe that if I couldn't speak fluently, it meant I wasn't smart enough or I hadn't studied hard enough. But now I realize that's not true. Speaking is a skill. And like every other skill, it improves with practice. I honestly feel much more confident than I did at the beginning of this episode.
I'm really happy to hear that, Rose. And if you're listening right now, I want you to remember one important thing. The fact that you understand English is already a huge achievement. It means your brain has been learning all along. Now it's simply time to train a new skill, expressing your thoughts. Don't be discouraged if speaking feels slow today. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner who paused, searched for words, made mistakes, and kept going anyway.
I think that's something every listener needs to hear. We often compare our first chapter with someone else's last chapter. But every confident speaker started exactly where we are today.
That's absolutely right. Instead of asking yourself, why can't I speak English yet? Try asking, what small step can I take today? Maybe you'll describe your day in English. Maybe you'll shadow a short podcast for 5 minutes. Maybe you'll have a 1-minute conversation with yourself. Those tiny actions may seem small, but together they create extraordinary progress.
And I think today's biggest lesson is this. Stop chasing perfect English. Start building confident English. Confidence doesn't appear after fluency. Confidence grows because you're willing to speak before you feel completely ready.
Beautifully said, Rose. Remember, your voice doesn't become stronger by staying silent. It becomes stronger every time you choose to speak. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Be afraid of missing opportunities to practice. Every sentence you speak is another brick in the foundation of your fluency. One day, you'll look back and realize that the conversations which once felt impossible have become completely natural.
Thank you for listening to the Listening English podcast.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you in the next podcast. Until then, keep listening, keep speaking, keep believing in your progress, and remember, every word you speak today brings you one step closer to the fluent English speaker you're becoming. Goodbye, everyone.